April 27, 2015, from the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. It was Game 4 from the 2015 NBA Playoff Round 1 matchup between the Atlanta Hawks and the Brooklyn Nets. The Hawks were up 2-1 in the series as the home team had won every game thus far, and the Nets were looking to continue that trend and hoping to even this one up before heading back to Atlanta for Game 5. And in the first quarter, it was pretty tight on both sides. We saw some good play from Brook Lopez, and he made the final shot of the quarter, and that gave the Nets a lead by 1 with the score 25-24, Brooklyn over Atlanta. Then in the second quarter, the Hawks ended up taking the lead. It was back and forth. Jeff Teague hit a big three with just over a minute left before halftime to make it 49-43. Lopez then comes back on the other end for the Nets. And then DeMarre Carroll gets a shot to make it 51-45 going into halftime as the Hawks led by 6 points. So then in the third quarter, we saw some more, room put between the Hawks and the Nets. But then in the final moments, the Nets closed the gap a little bit as they brought it to within 8 points with a layup by Anderson, and it was 82-74 heading into the fourth quarter. So then in the fourth quarter, Deron Williams scored the first 5 points. First, he put up a tray, then he scored along 2. And so now it was a 3-point game at 82-79 as Williams went on a little 5-0 mini run of his own. Scott then hit a layup and he drew the foul for an and one. But then on the other end, Bogdanovic drained a 3-pointer. And then about a minute later, Allen Anderson hit a 3-pointer, and this game was tied up at 85. Kyle Korver then responded for the Hawks by hitting a tray, but then Deron Williams ended up hitting a tray. First he got a layup, then he hit a tray, then he hit another tray. So Williams went on another little run right there, and then Brook Lopez hit a free throw, and that would complete a 9-0 run for the Nets as they went up 94-88. Then fast forward as we go to the final couple minutes of the game, Deron Williams ends up hitting a 3-pointer to give the Nets the lead as the Hawks had taken back the lead, but now it was 102-101. And then Brook Lopez hits a shot to make it 104-101. And now Atlanta was trailing by 3 with just over a minute left. Teague ended up getting to the line. He hit 1 of 2, so it was a 2-point game. Millsap, though, with 16 seconds left, gets a dunk with a feed from Teague, and it tied it up at 104-104, and this game was going to overtime. Then to start overtime up, it was Millsap again, this time with a layup with an assist from Korver, and it was 106-104. Then Young comes back on the other side for the Nets, ties it up at 106. Korver then hits a 20-footer to put the Hawks back in the lead. Then Joe Johnson ties it up. DeMarre Carroll then hits a 3-pointer to put the Hawks up by 3. But Brook Lopez comes back with a layup, draws the foul, hits the shot for the and one. And this game was tied up at 111 with 2 minutes left in overtime. Horford then got a layup, then Bogdanovic hits a 3-pointer, and now Brooklyn's up by 1. And then after a missed 3 by Teague, Lopez with the rebound, Thaddeus Young on the other end, and now is a 3-point lead for Brooklyn. And now fast forward to just 20 seconds left, and they end up fouling Deron Williams. He goes to the line, hits both shots, puts the Nets up by 5. Teague with the layup on the other side. It's a 3-point game. They foul Johnson, but Joe Johnson hits both free throws. Then Millsap put up a 3-pointer. He missed. Johnson with the rebound, and time expires as the Nets hold on to win this one 120-115. So the series is evened up at 2 games apiece as Brooklyn takes both games at home, and they'll be heading back to Atlanta for Game 5. But in this game, all 5 starters for both teams scored in double digits, and each team had a player come off the bench for double digits. And for the Nets, the leading scorer in this game was Deron Williams, as he had his best game of the series, as he stepped up big time. He hit 7 of 11 from 3-point land. He scored 35 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists, and 3 steals in the game. A double-double for Brook Lopez with 26 points, 10 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, and 4 blocks. Joe Johnson, 17 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. Bojan Bogdanovic, 15 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. Thaddeus Young, 10.7 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 steals. And off the bench, Allen Anderson with 11 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, and 2 steals. And for the Hawks, their leading scorer was a tie between DeMarre Carroll and Jeff Teague. They both had 20 points in the game. Korver and Millsap each had double-doubles. Korver and Millsap both put up 16. Millsap with 12 rebounds, Korver with 11. Horford had 17 points as well, and Schroder off the bench with 10. But in this game, the three-pointers were coming down for both teams. These two teams combined for 27 three-pointers in this game. 14 for the Nets, 13 for the Hawks. The Nets shot 45.2% from downtown, 39.4% for Atlanta. Pretty even on the field goal percentages, too, with the Hawks out shooting them 48.4 to 47.9, so just a 0.5% difference there. They each shot 66.7% from the free throw line, although the Nets got there more times, 6 more times, hitting 4 more. And the Hawks actually out-rebounded the Nets 55 to 40. They had more assists, 27 to 25, but the turnovers, the Nets getting the ball, they had 13 steals for 7. And it was 6-5 on the blocks in favor of the Hawks. They said the Nets, though, they made those, they were getting those steals when it counted, and they took advantage in the three-point shooting and getting into overtime, and then winning it and getting that clutch free throw shooting when it counted the most to close it out at the end there. And like I said, huge performance by Deron Williams. This real difference in this game, as he really hadn't done much in the series so far, but here in Game 4, he puts up a huge game, and the Nets definitely got to hope that he continues to have such production if they're going to have a chance moving forward. Of course, the series is tied up, and the Hawks came into the series, as the clear favorite, number 1 team in the East, but the Nets are right there giving them some trouble, so we'll see what happens in Game 5 back in Atlanta. But the score here in Game 4, Brooklyn 120, Atlanta 115 in overtime.